Speaker, and I thank the gentleman for yielding. I want to thank all of our chairmen and ranking members of the 12 appropriations subcommittees for their work this year, because it is important work. It's the only must-do work that the Congress has every year, and that's part of the power of the Appropriations Committee. And I do think that just blaming each other for our shortcomings is not particularly helpful, but I want to point out a couple things. Chairman Edwards is our chairman of the Military Construction and Veterans Affairs Appropriations Subcommittee, and I'm the ranking member, and it's an incredible privilege for both of us to carry out those functions. Chairman Edwards is a true patriot, does an excellent job. We've got a great staff. Our bill is certainly not the controversial part of this omnibus bill at all. As a matter of fact, our bill passed the House 415-3 and passed the Senate unanimously. So there's huge consensus here, and we deserve bipartisan praise for doing right by our nation's veterans and the men and women and their families that are in uniform today. That's what we're supposed to do. But I have to say this. We had hearings every week through the spring, and we always ask, what's the most important thing we can do for you? And we heard virtually every week, most important thing you can do for us is get our bill passed and enacted into law on time by October the 1st. As a matter of fact, that was the battle cry for why we need advance funding, is that they have to rely on the funding flow in the Veterans Affairs and our military construction. And here we are more than 10 weeks later, just now passing our bill. Now, last year we got our bill done on time, and that's not Mr. Edwards, and it's not me. It's somebody else on the scheduling of when these bills come up, because this bill had such consensus, it could have just flown through in late September, and everyone under this $78 billion funding profile would have had their money on time. And that is a problem, and I don't care whether you're Republican or Democrat, that's a problem. Especially when you come and say, let's start funding them in the future, 2 years out, so that they have the knowledge that the money's going to be there, yet you don't get the bill done on time and you're 10 weeks late or more. That makes no sense. It's not only ironic, it's unfortunate. Maybe they were holding this bill in case they needed a vehicle for all the other bills that they couldn't pass. I hope not. I hope you're not doing that to our men and women in uniform and their families and our veterans. We can do better than that, I know. I was a conferee. I was there Monday night as we negotiated this bill. I tried to take the TARP money, which now there's $200 billion left, and put it back against the debt, and I put it in the Treasury, because now there's a plan to go spend that money on things that may or may not work. Why not pay our debt down? The Chinese are worried about whether we'll ever pay our debt. We are sinking as a nation under a mountain of government debt, and we got to do something about it, and neither party's got a lot to brag about, but y'all are in charge. We can do better. I yield back.
Time of the gentleman has expired.